Walk into any electronics store in 2025 and you're hit with a wall of glowing screens. Dozens of TVs screaming at you 4K, HDR, smart, revolutionary technology, and you stand there thinking, how different can they really be? $400, $900, $2,000. They all look shiny under showroom lights. That's the trap. Because here's the ugly truth. Not all TV brands are created equal. Some give you cinematic magic in your living room. Others? They're basically disappointment machines with a power button. So today, we're ranking the biggest TV brands in America from absolute bottom tier to the kings of picture quality. And trust me, you're about to see some household names get dragged. Number 12, RCA, the fossil that refused to evolve. RCA is like that washed-up rock band still trying to tour on name recognition alone. Once upon a time, RCA was a pioneer. They practically invented broadcasting. But in 2025, RCA TVS are the definition of cheap and dated. Sure, the price tag looks tempting, but the second you plug one in, you'll see why. Outdated panels, washed-out colors, and viewing angles so narrow you have to sit perfectly still like you're posing for a passport photo just to see the picture clearly. Move a few inches left or right, and suddenly your deep blacks turn into 50 shades of gray. And not the fun kind. Owner experiences are brutal. Month 3, the colors fade. Month 6, sound starts buzzing. Month 9, the screen goes black. Congratulations, you now own a very expensive paperweight. Bottom line, RCA is running on fumes. If nostalgia is your thing, buy a vintage radio. But if you want a TV worth your money, skip this fossil. Number 11, Toshiba, the ghost with a logo. Once upon a time, Toshiba was a household name. If you had a Toshiba flat screen in the early 2000s, you were living the dream. But those days are long gone. Today, the Toshiba name you see on shelves is just a licensed sticker slapped on budget panels built by other manufacturers. It's like ordering a Kobe steak and getting a microwaved burger with the same name tag. Sure, some models run Amazon's Fire TV system, which makes the interface look decent. But the hardware under the hood? Cheap panels, poor build quality, and durability that makes planned obsolescence look generous. Think about it. Buying Toshiba in 2025 is like buying a cake that's all frosting and no substance. Pretty on the outside, empty on the inside. Number 10, JVC, the invisible middle child. JVC has legendary status in audio gear and cameras, but in TVS, they've been lost in the shuffle. Walk into Walmart, grab a JVC set on sale, and what do you get? An inconsistent mess. Specs change depending on which country you buy it in. The JVC in California might not even be the same JVC as the one your cousin bought in Australia. That's how messy their lineup is. User complaints are everywhere. Laggy menus, apps that freeze, and quality control that feels like a coin toss. Sometimes you get a decent budget set. Sometimes you get a box of headaches. Bottom line, JVC isn't the worst offender, but they're forgettable. A brand you buy when it's cheap and available, and immediately regret when the remote stops working 6 months later. Number 9, Vizio, the fallen budget hero. This one stings. Back in the 2010s, Vizio was the smart shopper's secret weapon. Solid picture quality, unbeatable prices. You felt clever for buying one. But 2025 Vizio? It's a different story. Software glitches, clunky SmartCast menus, random app crashes, and updates that break features instead of fixing them. Worse, their once great durability has tanked. Owners complain of panels failing within 2 years, remotes that lag like it's 2003 dial-up internet, and features that never work the way they should. And let's not forget the Walmart buyout. Since then, Vizio has gone from budget disruptor to good enough if it's on clearance. You can still get a deal during sales, but you're not getting the unbeatable value they were once famous for. In other words, Vizio fell from hero to background character. If you're bargain hunting today, TCL or Hisense will give you way more bang for your buck. We've taken out the trash. RCA, Toshiba, JVC, Vizio. Now let's move into the brands that live in the middle. Some of these are clawing their way up. Others are still trying to convince us they matter. And a couple? They're the underdogs you should actually be watching. Number 8, Sansui, the simple survivor. Remember Sansui? Most people don't. But they're still here, quietly pumping out TVs that do exactly one thing: turn on and work. We're not talking cutting-edge picture quality or mind-blowing HDR. Sansui is like that reliable old sedan in your neighbor's driveway. It won't win races, but it gets you where you need to go. The upside? Roku or Android TV built in, Dolby Vision on some models, and prices that make sense if you're outfitting a spare bedroom, rental property, or your kid's dorm. The downside? Don't expect premium build quality or fancy features. Number 7, Skyworth, the sleeper pick. Skyworth is the brand that makes your friends ask, "Wait, what brand is that?" And yet, if you're brave enough to try it, you might be pleasantly surprised. Their OLED and mini LED sets come with Google TV, solid color accuracy, and a price tag a few $100 cheaper than the big names. For someone who wants a giant screen on a budget, Skyworth is worth a look. The catch? Slower processors. Don't expect instant app launches or buttery smooth menus. But let's be honest, if you're binge-watching Netflix and not running a stock trading empire from your TV, you probably won't care. Skyworth is like the underdog sports team. Not flashy, not famous. But when they play, they shock everyone by holding their own. Number 6, Sharp, the 90s rock band on a comeback tour. Sharp was once the undisputed king of huge screens. They practically owned the living room back in the plasma days. Then they disappeared into obscurity. But here's the twist. Overseas, Sharp has been quietly building mini LED tech that actually looks impressive. It's not a full US comeback yet, but the potential is real. Think of Sharp like your favorite 90s band suddenly booking a reunion tour. If they nail the set list, it could be epic. If not, well, at least you got the nostalgia. For now, Sharp is a wait-and-see brand in the US, but if they bring their A-game back here, they could surprise a lot of people. Number 5, Hisense, the underdog punching above its weight. 10 years ago, nobody in America cared about Hisense. Today, they're one of the most dangerous players in the TV game. The Hisense U8 series is the reason you can walk into a store with under $1,000 and walk out with a TV that looks like it should cost twice as much. Mini LED brightness, Dolby Vision support, shockingly strong gaming performance, and color accuracy that rivals the big dogs. Here's the catch: consistency. With Hisense, the gap between their entry-level and premium models is huge. Buy the wrong one, and you're in for disappointment. Buy the right one, and you'll be bragging to your friends about how you outsmarted everyone at Best Buy. Bottom line, Hisense is the scrappy fighter in the ring, rough around the edges, but when they land a punch, it hits hard. Number 4, TCL, from GarageBand to stadium headliner. TCL used to be the cheap TV brand, the one you bought when you were broke, in college, or just didn't care. But those days are over. The TCL QM8 Mini LED changed the game. Suddenly, you're looking at brightness, contrast, and gaming features that rival Samsung and LG at half the price. Their 6 Series years ago was the first wake-up call. But now? TCL isn't just good for the price. They're good, period. Whether it's action movies, sports, or just 4K YouTube binges, TCL delivers. Of course, quality control still isn't perfect. Some people unbox a flawless panel. Others get one with dead pixels or light bleed. But when TCL gets it right, you're looking at 90% of a premium experience for 60% of the cost. TCL is no longer the underdog. They're headlining the show. We've survived the fossils, the ghosts, and the scrappy underdogs. Now let's step into the arena of the giants. The brands plastered across billboards, dominating store shelves, and sucking up all the hype. But here's the question: are they worth it, or are you just paying for marketing glitter? Number 3. Sony, the luxury performer. Sony has been in the TV game for decades, and unlike RCA or Toshiba, they never left. Their Trinitron sets defined an era, and today their OLED and Mini LED Bravia models carry that legacy forward. Sony is for people who obsess over picture quality. Their processing tech is second to none. Sports look smooth without the soap opera effect. Action scenes, crisp old movies, they look better than you remember. And if you're a gamer, Sony makes it seamless with PlayStation 5 support built right in. HDMI 2.1, VRR, and motion handling that feels tailor-made for high-speed gameplay. But here's the kicker: Sony isn't cheap. The Sony tax was real for years. You'd pay thousands for features that competitors offered for less. But in 2025, that's starting to change. Sony has gotten smarter. They recycle last year's flagship tech into more affordable models without cutting corners. Suddenly, that once untouchable premium experience is actually within reach. Bottom line, Sony is still a luxury, but now it's a luxury that more people can actually afford. If you want elite picture quality with minimal tinkering, Sony is the TV you splurge on. Number 2. Samsung, the hype machine with a bright side. Walk into any Best Buy, and the Samsung wall is unavoidable. It's like Vegas: neon lights, dazzling displays, and the promise of a spectacle. And to be fair, Samsung earns a lot of that hype. Their QLED and Neo QLED panels pump out insane brightness and razor-sharp color that makes sports, movies, and even gaming pop like fireworks. Their anti-glare tech is a lifesaver for bright living rooms. And let's not forget, they've finally embraced OLED with models like the S95D and S95F, giving Samsung that deep black magic they used to avoid. They've also built one of the best gaming ecosystems right into the TV. Xbox Game Pass, GeForce Now. Stream AAA titles straight to your screen. No console required. That's not future talk. That's happening now. But here comes the fine print. Samsung loves bloatware. Their TVs are packed with preloaded apps you didn't ask for. And yes, even ads on the home screen of a TV you just paid $1,800 for. Nothing kills the premium vibe faster than a pop-up pitching you insurance before you can even launch Netflix. And let's not forget, Samsung is always pushing experimental tech. Micro-LED, modular panels, futuristic designs. Sounds cool, but most of it is still out of reach for regular buyers. So yeah, Samsung is an innovation beast. But if you hate cluttered menus and forced ads, be prepared to side-eye that shiny remote after a few weeks. Number 1. LG, the OLED king. If Samsung is the hype machine, LG is the silent assassin. No flashing lights, no circus act, just the best overall picture quality money can buy. LG's OLED panels are in a league of their own. Perfect blacks, infinite contrast. Colors so vivid you'll swear you're looking through a window instead of a screen. Whether it's a late-night thriller, a Sunday football game, or a Mario Kart showdown, LG makes it look and feel better. Their web OS is slick, simple, and doesn't bombard you with ads the way Samsung does. And for gamers, LG is the GOAT. HDMI 2.1 across the board, 144 Hz refresh rates, and input lag so low it feels like cheating. Yes, OLED burn-in is still a concern if you leave CNN or ESPN tickers on 24/7, but LG has dramatically improved panel lifespan, and most people will never notice a problem. Bottom line, LG is still the king of TVs in 2025. If you want the best cinematic performance without compromise, this is the brand that delivers. Bonus, Panasonic, the filmmaker's choice. After a decade away, Panasonic has made a comeback like a cult classic director dropping a surprise sequel. Their Z95A OLED is absolutely insane when it comes to accuracy and HDR performance. If you're the type who wants to see movies exactly as the director intended, Panasonic is your holy grail. The problem? Availability. Finding one in the US feels like chasing a rare sneaker drop, and when you do, it won't be cheap. But for cinephiles, Panasonic is proof that not all legends fade. Sometimes they come back swinging, so we've crowned the kings, dragged the frauds, and spotlighted the underdogs. But here's the bigger question. Which one of these brands will you trust to own your living room for the next 5 years? So, here we are. We've walked through the entire lineup, from the zombies still shambling around on store shelves, to the scrappy fighters clawing their way into relevance, to the giants battling it out for your living room wall. But what's the real takeaway? Here's the truth. Buying a TV in 2025 isn't just about specs on a box or whatever jargon the salesman is spewing. It's about choosing the screen that's going to shape your nights, your weekends, your downtime. Think about it. That TV is going to host your movie marathons, your Sunday football blowouts, your midnight Netflix binges when you should be asleep. It's where your kids are going to watch cartoons, where your friends are going to scream during game night, where you're going to lose hours of your life to one more episode. Pick the wrong brand and all of that joy gets soured. Dead pixels, washed out colors, ads clogging your home screen like spam in your inbox. That's not entertainment, that's frustration dressed up in 4K. But pick the right brand? That's when magic happens. LG OLEDs turning your living room into a private cinema. Sony giving you buttery smooth motion that makes sports feel alive. Samsung blasting out brightness like it's the Vegas Strip. Hisense and TCL proving you don't need to sell your car to get premium performance. At the end of the day, a good TV should disappear. You shouldn't be thinking about the panel or the processing chip. You should be thinking about the story unfolding on that screen. The picture should be so good that you forget you're even watching a screen at all. Because here's the truth. A good TV should make your food taste better during movie night, make your beer colder during the Super Bowl, and make your sanity stay intact when the week's been too much. Everything else? Marketing noise. And that's why we do this. To cut through the noise, to show you what's worth it and what's not. So if you want more guides that save you money, spare you regret, and help you spend smarter in a world full of shiny traps, this is the place. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and join us here at Frugal Choise. Because spending smart isn't just about saving cash, it's about buying back your peace of mind.